Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with dark chocolate macaron. That's right, I don't really parlez-vous the français very good, but I don't think that was too bad. They are not macaroons, those are those coconut cookies. These are little French meringues we make this little cookie sandwich out of. These were extremely trendy a few years ago, but of course I had to wait till it was uncool to make these before we made these. And by the way, I should warn you, this is the first time I ever made them, so I have no idea what I'm doing. So here we go. We're going to start with the dry ingredients, which is powdered sugar, ground almonds, also known as almond meal or almond flour, and some dark cocoa. Now, one thing I did here is you want this dry mixture to be as lump-free as possible. So I found this box of powdered sugar. I think it was from like the Clinton administration. It was really lumpy. So I put mine through a fine screen here. I'm going to sift that. You want it really, really fine. All right, no chunks, no lumps, just like that. All right, next we're going to make our meringue, which is simply egg whites, room temperature, no yolks at all, in a very clean bowl. You're going to turn that on and you're just going to mix it until it's frothy. And it looks like that. Then with the speed set to high, we're going to start sprinkling in our granulated sugar. A few teaspoons at a time until it's all in. And after all the granulated sugar's in, you're going to continue to beat that on high until we have peaks. How stiff? I'm not sure. I went to this stage. All right, the peak did flop over, but then it was pretty stiff at that point. I read bad things happen if you overmix the whites, so I was afraid. So I stopped right there and it seemed to be fine. But they should be very thick, very glossy, and definitely be able to hold a peak like that. Okay? Now I transferred this into another bowl so it's easier to film. You can leave yours right in the bowl you mixed them. Then we're going to add half the dry mixture and fold it in with a spatula. Now I'm using the classic folding method of scraping down under the mixture and over the top. I'm also using the tip of the spatula to kind of stir gently. Basically, we're trying to get these dry ingredients in without completely deflating the egg whites. So I put in half. As soon as the first half's in, you're going to put in the second half and do the same thing until it's combined. And once it's incorporated, stop. Stop mixing. You don't need to mix it anymore. Please stop. At that point, I'm going to transfer my mixture into a plastic piping bag. I use a drinking glass to hold it up because I have no friends. So if you're working alone, just use a glass to hold your bag while you scrape the batter in. So since I'm using plastic disposable piping bags, I'm going to snip off the end. And then I'm going to go over to my sheet tray, which is lined with parchment paper, and I'm going to pipe out little circles. Those are about the size of a $50. By the way, when's the last time you had a $50 in your pocket? All right, so we're going to pipe those out. Now, after you pipe them, you're going to have that little peak on there. You're supposed to knock that down or push that over. I used a spoon because I had cocoa all over my fingers. They look dirty. All right, once those are piped, we got to give it the old tappa to kind of flatten them out a little bit. And then we're going to put those in a 350-degree oven for 6 minutes. Then I'm going to switch positions in the oven. And then I'm going to give those about another 6 or 7 minutes until done. And look how gorgeous. So about 60% of mine came out perfect, and we're going to talk about that on the blog post. So some look like that, perfect smooth surface, beautiful little feet, which is what they call that little ring around the bottom. So most of them are like that, but then some look like this. But that's okay, this is my first attempt. But regardless of what the surface looked like on some, the texture was perfect. They should be crispy and kind of crackly on the outside, and then soft and chewy and kind of cake-like in the middle. In fact, let me switch to a photo here because I think I'm making you dizzy. So you can see that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and let those cool completely while we make our filling. I'm just doing a simple ganache. I took some dark chocolate, a little sea salt, hot cream, and you just mix it up. And when it melts and turns into this awesome shiny mixture, you let it cool just until it's thick enough to handle. You flip one of the cookies over, you put some on, you press the other one down, and you have these amazing, cute little meringue cookie sandwiches. They're just adorable. What's French for adorable? I bet it's so adorable. And just for a little extra fanciness, we're going to do a little dusting of cocoa. Even though most of my tops were beautiful, it still can cover up some of the minor flaws. So pretty. And there we go. Dark chocolate macaron. And of course, feel free to call them macaroons. That's what most people call them. All right, let me bite into one of these. You know, all I can say really is ooh la la. We have a very high-end French pâtissière down the street, and these are comparable. I know, I can't believe it either. But anyway, I hope this inspires you to give these formerly very trendy cookies a try. They are really fun to make and incredibly delicious. So head over to foodwishes.com for all the ingredient amounts, some given in grams, so you Europeans have that to look forward to. There will also be some more information, as usual. And as always, enjoy.